Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, you grab your phone to check your bank account, and realize your brand new paycheck has basically disappeared almost as quickly as it arrived, right? The rent was paid, the credit card bill cleared, a few of those subscriptions you completely forgot about renewed while you were sleeping, add in coffee, gas, groceries, and by lunchtime, poof, the money is just gone. It's this universally painful reality, and surprisingly, millions of people out there earning six-figure salaries are experiencing the exact same thing.
Okay, let's dive into this broken equation. The standard playbook goes exactly like this. Work, get paid, spend, and repeat. It feels totally normal just because it's what everyone around us is doing. But this happens because of a massive gap in our education. Think about it. Schools accidentally set us up with this completely broken cycle. I mean, they teach us algebra, they teach us historical dates, maybe even cell structure, but they almost never teach us personal finance.
And that leads us to a really core realization. Money isn't actually controlled by your income. Consider two 25-year-olds. They both earn $70,000 a year, live in the exact same city, and pay the same taxes. On paper, they're completely identical. Yet 5 years down the road, one has zero savings, while the other has secure investments and a fully funded emergency fund. So what happened here? Well, it wasn't luck. It wasn't some secret trick. It was literally thousands of invisible decisions.
Section 1. The Invisible Financial War.
You see, every paycheck tells a story, and the invisible mechanics at play are actually quite simple. If you don't intentionally decide exactly where every dollar goes, a highly efficient system is going to step right in and claim it for you. We are constantly bombarded, notifications pinging our phones, limited-time flash sales, frictionless buy now, pay later buttons, and ridiculously targeted ads. These companies are spending billions of dollars every single year just competing for your attention. But they don't just want your time, they want your paycheck. They're aggressively competing for money you haven't even earned yet.
So how do we actually fight back? Well, you have to fundamentally shift your mindset. Most people default to asking, what can I afford today? But a much, much more powerful question to ask yourself is, what will today's decision cost my future? Now, those questions might sound kind of similar at first glance, but they exist in completely different universes. Changing that single question, that is your ultimate defense.
Section 2. Time, inflation, and debt.
Now, let's look at what's happening behind the scenes with the silent economic forces. I want you to imagine taking a crisp $100 bill and hiding it in a drawer for 10 long years. When you take it out a decade later, you still have exactly a $100 bill, right? It wasn't stolen by a roommate. It didn't magically disappear into thin air. It feels incredibly safe.
But here is the crucial point. You didn't lose the physical money, but you lost purchasing power. This completely reveals the silent thief we know as inflation. It's honestly one of the strangest tricks in economics. That $100 simply buys way less than it used to. Time is changing prices completely without your permission. And that right there is exactly why personal finance is about making sure your money keeps up with time.
And then, of course, there's debt. We really need to shatter this myth that debt is simply good or bad. Borrowing money to buy a depreciating luxury car or some expensive new gadget, that means you're paying interest while the item itself literally becomes less valuable. But borrowing for an income-producing business or for education, that actually increases your earning power. It's the exact same tool, but one quietly borrows from your future while the other actively builds it.
Section 3. The reality of investing.
If we just completely strip away all those dramatic, flashing red and green stock charts you constantly see on social media, investing actually gets very simple. It's really just letting your money work while you're not. Most of us spend 8 hours a day working for money, right? Well, investing asks a brilliant question. What if your money also had a job? It's simply treating your cash like a dedicated, tireless employee.
And this is the invisible power of compound growth in action. On day one, you're going to see small, honestly, very unexciting gains. But as the years pass, that growth becomes creating more growth. Over decades, the snowball becomes absolutely massive. To put that into perspective for a second, just skipping a single $5 coffee and investing that money instead could grow to over $400 in 30 years. The big secret here is that the snowball gets larger because it rolls longer, not faster. Time quietly becomes so much more important than perfect timing.
The irony here? Real wealth building is actually kind of boring. It's built entirely on automatic transfers, monthly budgets, index funds, emergency savings, insurance, and retirement accounts. Unlike the flashy overnight millionaires you see on your feed, these habits are never going to go viral. The algorithms just don't like them because, well, they aren't that exciting. Yet, these are the exact proven tools quietly creating real, lasting wealth.
Section 4. The Paradox of Wealth. All right, time to reveal a very uncomfortable truth about what financial success actually looks like in the real world. The person driving the absolute newest luxury car, they might actually be drowning, barely able to afford their monthly payments. Compare that to the person driving a super reliable, maybe 10-year-old vehicle who secretly has millions in hidden investments. What we see on the surface and what is actually happening behind closed doors are often two very, very different things. Status and wealth don't necessarily travel together. In fact, they frequently move in opposite directions. And so personal finance constantly forces you into this really difficult direct choice. Do you want to look rich? Or do you actually want to become rich? It's incredibly hard because these two competing goals are just constantly fighting against each other for a piece of your paycheck.
Let's zoom out for a second. Why does all of this matter today way more than ever before? Because we're dealing with a world where sleepy subscriptions are totally replacing ownership. We've got frictionless digital payments that completely remove the psychological feeling of spending money. We have one-click shopping that eliminates any hesitation. And don't even get me started on those frighteningly personalized AI ads. The modern system is incredibly good at separating you from your money, which is exactly why you need to install a personal defense system, like immediately.
And it all boils down to this one incredible realization. Every dollar is simply a vote for the kind of future you're creating. Money isn't just paper or little numbers on a screen. It's a tool. It's a tool for choices, for freedom, and ultimately for your time. Some of those votes disappear instantly, while others are going to continue working for you long, long after you've even forgotten making them.
Which brings us to the ultimate question you have to ask yourself. Because personal finance isn't a destination, these decisions literally never stop. So, when your next paycheck arrives, who already has a plan for it? Is it you or everyone else? It's time to take back control of your financial architecture because the choice is entirely yours.